If you can hear my voice, clap your hands 1 time. If you can hear my voice, clap your hands 2 times. Hey, that worked pretty well. Thank you for the teaching reminder I heard earlier. So that was something I picked up from a grade school teacher years ago. Good evening and welcome to the installation of our officers for 2021-2022. It's really quite an honor for me to be able to do this for Tom. I appreciate being asked to do this. I spent a number of years next to his brother and sister-in-law, so I've known the Fulton family and the stories of Minnesota for many times. I also have a great deal of respect for everything that the current and recent officers, and used to be the new Three Amigos, but there's more than 3 of them. But I really appreciate the fact that we've had a really amazing twist to us, thrown at us from happenstance and the coronavirus. But they figured out a way to keep the club going with their kettle corn. It's pretty amazing. So the quote that came to mind to start this is, "People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it." Thank you for all the hard work for all of them. To start us off tonight, Marilyn Patterson will lead us in the Singing of America. Do you want the remote?
Please join me. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side, let freedom bring.
Thank you. Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance is Louis Fickett. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Steve. I'll pass this. Pastor Governor Steve will lead us in invocation.
Please bow our heads. Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here this evening for an evening of celebration. A new start, a new year. We pray your blessing on those that cannot be with us. We pray your blessing on the food that we're eating this evening, that it will strengthen our bodies, strengthen our love for you, and strengthen our love for each other. Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. I am now tasked with introducing our dignitaries this evening, starting off with our current district governor, Doug Harvey. I was worried the next person wasn't going to be here, but I saw him stumbling by a second ago. So, past council chair Hal Palmer is with us this evening.
I'm trying to grow my hair as long as Mark's.
Well, I helped you last week because I got 4 inches cut off. So we have 4 past district governors that I'm aware of. Past District Governor Jim Reinecke. Saw you here earlier. There you go. Past District Governor Steve Patterson. Past District Governor Mike Parker. Yours truly. Did I miss any others? I think I cut everybody. Oh, past District Governor Monty. Sorry I overlooked you. I was inspired by Steve, so. Would all of our past zone chairs please stand? If you're a past zone chair, thank you for your service. Past presidents, I think we have quite a few of those here this evening, so past presidents, please stand. Thank you, past presidents. And of course, the single most important office of any Lions Club are the worker bees that have never served in any office. So would you all stand, because without you and all the support, we would not be able to do everything that we've been able to do. We appreciate that. We'll break in a moment for our meal. However, just to kind of set you off on a food for thought, I came across something called paraprosdokians. They're figures of speech in which the latter part of a sentence or phrase is surprising or unexpected. They were frequently used by Sir Winston Churchill. So here's a few of them for you. Where there's a will, I want to be in it. The last thing I want to do is hurt you, but it's still on my list. Since light travels faster than sound, some people appear bright until you hear them speak. If I agreed with you, we'd both be wrong. We never really grow up, we only learn how to act in public. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. To steal ideas from one person is plagiarism. To steal from many is research. I didn't say it was your fault. I said I was blaming you. In filling out an application where it says, in case of emergency, notify, I answered, a doctor. Women will never be equal to men until they can walk down the street with a bald head and a beer gut and still think they are sexy. You do not need a parachute to skydive. You only need a parachute to skydive twice.
Let everybody know that they can go get the salad first. Everybody get the salad.
Okay. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. To be sure of hitting the target, shoot first and call whatever you hit the target. You're never too old to learn something stupid. And finally, I'm supposed to respect my elders, but it's getting harder and harder for me to find someone older than me. Sadly, that's not true in this club. With that, I've been asked to let people know that salads are first, and Doug, Dolly, do we line up?
Yeah.
At this time, I would like to introduce our outgoing president. You can tell a past district governor, but you can't tell him much. Hi, Jim. Darlene Munson joined Longview Pioneer Lions in 2000. Nope, I have that the wrong one. Joined Pioneer Lions in 2012. She was heavily involved in Relay for Life, which is how I got to know her a lot better. We were over there a number of times. She is a retired school teacher, so it gave her a unique ability to be president of this club. She's used to dealing with the childish mentality. And the quote I selected for her, which I think will make sense because pretty much her whole year was an interesting experience, to say the least. This is from Doc Searles. We play the hands of cards life gives us, and the worst hands make us the best players. Welcome, Darlene.
This has been an interesting year. As you can see, I'm with a walker. I just had a hip replaced last Wednesday, so. But, you know, everything's going okay, so that's good. I'd like to thank everybody that's worked on our kettle corn in the last year. If it wasn't for the guys in the kettle corn, we would not have had any type of fundraisers for the club. When I went in as an officer thinking, do I want to be an officer? You know, you think about it because it's kind of a 4 or 5 year commitment. And I went in and then this last year it's like, okay, everything's shut down. I can't have my installation, which is okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. So we're kind of going, okay, now how are we going to raise money, and how are we going to do meetings? If it wasn't for Zoom, whoever invented Zoom, we would probably not have been able to meet again for a year in person, because we were able to start again in the end of March. And I want to just say that I enjoyed my, even though it's kind of been a crazy year, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Stay for a moment.
I don't think so.
That was kind of painful. I wanted to keep clapping, but I saw you kind of holding tight and thinking, oh, this is going to hurt. So
Nah, it's okay.
Isla, if you're, there you are. We have a presentation by Isla Huster. Did I do that correctly?
Yes, you did. You didn't call me a hustler.
You want the remote or you want this?
Sharon and I put this scrapbook together as part of the historian scrapbooking committee. And I don't know what's in there. Anything that'll break? Here, and you have lots of these, Dwayne. Lots, Dwayne.
Yeah.
But here is for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
You must look at it, because otherwise you won't know that you were born a girl.
Oh,
It's a girl. Front page.
oh, very nice, very nice.
Get your picture here real quick. Thank you.
Yeah, with not much going on this year except for kettle corn.
There's a lot in there.
I know, but really when you think about all the stuff we do as a club, from like the 4th and so on and everything, and this year it's pretty much, okay, Friday or Saturday, kettle corn. And now it's just Fridays, which is good, because we don't want to get people burned out. And then we're hoping that, hopefully the 4th will happen. Kind of depends on, I kind of heard that. Kind of depends on what the governor decides, if he's going to open it or not again on June 30th. So just have to wait and see. But thank you, girls. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And of course, Darlene was way too modest, because just from the outside looking in, I wasn't able to attend very many meetings, but I know we did distribution of books at an elementary
Yep.
school. We
Yep.
did scholarships. There's a number of things we continue to do, and we would not have been able to do them if it hadn't been for the people doing the kettle corn. Okay. At this time, I'm going to introduce our installing officer, but before I do, I kept trying to pin Tom down for a theme, and he wouldn't take a theme, so I told him, well, I'm just going to kind of wing it. So I was going to figure out if there's kind of a theme to these two quotes that I'll use before I introduce Doug. First of all, to explain the first quote, my father was a huge fan of Dale Carnegie, took the Dale Carnegie course. When I went to work for him, that was one of the stipulations for me to work for him, as I had to go through the Dale Carnegie course, and I highly recommend that to anyone. It's a good introduction to Toastmasters. Jim's up here. This is from Dale Carnegie. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. The second one, similar theme, energy and persistence conquer all things. That was Benjamin Franklin. Kind of a theme, that's what I've seen of Tom. You're just busy, just go get it and go, 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 and appreciate that. So your installing officer is our current district governor. Too many scraps of paper. Our district governor, Doug Harvey, joined the Lions in 2009. He was president in 2013 and 14 during our 90th celebration. Spent 2 years as zone chairman. Took a while to get it right, apparently, Doug. It's both times. Actually, zone chairman is one of the most fun things you can do. If you haven't had that opportunity in leadership, it really is fun, and I kind of think it actually works better as a 2-year term, but that's my personal opinion. He spent 2 years as our GMT working on membership, and we had positive growth both years. Appreciate that. He is our current district governor and a progressive Melvin Jones Fellow, as well as a Gordon Smith. Would you please welcome our district governor, Doug Harvey.
Thank you, Mark. You know, this has been a strange year, not only in the club, but in the district. And as it was mentioned, if it wasn't for Zoom, we'd all been in trouble. But we all learned Zoom. A lot of us, they had to drag us in and force us to do it, because a lot of us didn't want to do it, but it is actually the lifesaver for this year. And as I understand it, Zoom is not going to go away, even though we've done everything face-to-face, every place we've gone. That's going to change a little bit. So you'll see as we get into the future years, a lot of these distant meetings we've been driving to, we will no longer have to do that. But having club meetings is extremely important. And this club went a whole year without meetings. And so when they decided that we could start having a meeting again, that the virus is under control enough that we could do that, I kind of wondered how many would really show up the first time. This club is outstanding. We had almost a full complement of the normal people that come to our meetings show up the very first meeting we had. And every meeting since that time has been absolutely outstanding. So I applaud the club for that. Now, before we get into the installation, I do have a short poem that I wrote, and this is based on my experience with the virus, and it's called The Ode to the Pandemic Virus. Last year, we all were encircled by a fictitious virus source. It spread all around, every place, every town. A mutated microforce. Soon to be labeled COVID, a shroud cast over the world. Older people it seek, infecting the weak, its evil intentions unfurled. How can we combat this death knell was hollered throughout our great land? Social distance and masks and limit your tasks was the official government command. We know that we can do better became the rallying cry. There must be a team who can make a vaccine so more folks won't have to die. With lightning speed, they indeed found the cure. Now vaccines are becoming the rule. As the virus succumbs, we can all raise our thumbs and our children can go back to school. Thank you. Will you preside at all the regular and special meetings of your club and board meetings? Yes. Will you appoint standing and special committees and ensure their success?
Yes.
Will you also serve as an active member of the District Governor's Advisory Committee, attending the meetings of the zone?
Yes.
You have a tremendous responsibility. Everybody in this room will be looking to you for guidance and leadership. Do you feel that you can do that?
Yes.
Okay, and are we ready?
Go ahead.
So incoming, President Tom. And he'll need to put on his white gloves just in case.
Burger King.
It's not a Burger King, I bought that. He also has a scepter. to control the meeting. And last but not least, he needs to have the image of the king lion. And a congratulations card. Thank you, Tom.
Keep it up there.
Tom, as incoming president, I present you with your gavel. This gavel is a symbol of your club's reliance on you and confidence in your performance. You can also use it if somebody tries to get out of line.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, no.
You may have to. At this point, I pronounce to you the new president of the Longview Pioneer Lions for the year of 2021-2022, Tom Fulton. Darlene, now going over to York.
And Darlene, we have a lovely pat on the back for all the work that you did.
We'll now do the official passing of the pins.
Okay, so I need Tom and Lloyd, Cheryl, and Cindy and Dolly. Okay. Every year that we pass the pins down from position to position. So I am passing down a president's pin to Tom Fulton, a vice president for Lloyd Williams, a vice president for Cheryl Coates, a secretary to Cindy Fickett, and a treasurer for Dolly Harvey. Now, it is also my pleasure to pass on something to Tom that he is responsible for the next year.
You lose it, you die.
Yeah. It's the original first president's pin for the Pioneer Lions.
98 years old.
And, so there's that, and the gavel. It is your responsibility to keep care of it for the next year and then pass it down next year.
That's the original gavel. So guard that with your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to officially announce that by the power vested in me, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce all of the new Lions Cabinet and Executive Committee officially in position, officially elected. And now, Tom, you have the opportunity here is your chance to give your acceptance speech.
It is. So Ms. last weekend, I went to a leadership conference over in Idaho, and 3 things that came up that they taught us was how to present things. First you open, then you have a body, and then you close. So in the opening, hi everybody. The middle, I have nothing. And I'm ready to close. Okay? So anyway, first thing on my list was
The raffle?
I want to thank her for all the time that she let me do this stuff. And I want to thank the Pioneer Lions for a chance to be a part of the family. And then a few goals that we have is to create a place for order, love, happiness, and relaxation. Provide opportunities for each person to become responsibly independent in order to achieve worthwhile with purpose. Both the goal and definition of Lionism is we serve. Be a proud Lion.
Before you sneak away, I know you just thought it was going to be safe. And I was standing there and I realized earlier I acknowledged different dignitaries, but some of the most important dignitaries are the family that you brought with you.
Right.
So if you would be so kind as to introduce your family.
Okay, my youngest brother Sean and his wife Dale, and most of you know Margie, she's a Lion, and her better half Wayne, and Monty and Ann are Gail's parents. And this table here is my beautiful wife and her daughter Kristen, and her son Mark, and his wife Angie, and granddaughter Julia. And at that table, my sister Colleen, who's a member of the Lions, and my niece Kristen. I don't know where Carrie went. Oh, she's over there, and that's her husband, Grant.
I sure hope you're not related to Mike. We have a couple more items, some of which are really not on your agenda, but one of the items is that we're closing the raffle. So
Yay!
Yeah.
Pick me. Really?
So if you'll go through and select a number, and then while we're doing that, I would ask Gina to come forward. We have annual awards. While Gina's coming forward, I would like to have a special thank you to Hal Palmer. Where did you go, Hal? Way in the back?
Yes. That way.
Past council chairman Hal has been kind enough to continue the Zoom meetings because some of us can't actually make the physical meetings currently. It's not because of the regulations, I just don't physically have the time to cut out. So I appreciate the fact that Hal continues to do that so that I can watch those. However, there is one caveat. You have to remember the laptop is next to Hal, so every time you guys sing America, what I hear is Hal.
All right, it's my turn. Man, what a meeting, right? Yeah. The installation of these new officers and outgoing officers, they seem to have some familiar faces, right? That's the way it works. You move up a year, every year you move up a chair, or you move into another committee, and they welcome it with enthusiasm. Some more what? Okay, I'm going to continue. I want to thank and give everybody an award. Spouses for putting up with the long hours that some of our Lions put in, and families for pitching in and helping when needed, and those who do work and think, oh my, I don't really want to do this, but it's kind of fun, you know. Come on. We've got some applications over here in the corner. We're sure we can get you signed up. So my job is to give out awards. And like I say, I would love to give every single Lion in this room an award because COVID has made things so difficult. Hal has helped us with being online. You know, I know we got tired of being online, but tell you what, not having to get dressed and come down here every week wasn't so bad. I retired and started taking care of my 2-year-old. He would sometimes sit at my desk with me. He enjoyed Lions meetings. He still goes over there and pulls out the chair and tries to sit down and do Lions meetings. But we're back to normal now, and it's really fun to see the faces and see how things are gone. And the kettle corn has just been tremendous, you know. We have Lions to thank for all of that. What was it? It was called the Three Musketeers. It's turned into like maybe at least 4, if not 6, I tell you. On the awards committee, people come to me and they say, hey, have you got a spot for so-and-so or so-and-so? You know, they show up at everything and they're never recognized. Well, I don't show up at everything. You know, I don't see everybody. I don't see everything that's going on. So that's your job. You come and tell me if you see somebody who's doing something outside of their regular job duties, you know, and we do have a lot of that. The behind the scenes, there are a lot of hours. It's just what it took to put on this installation dinner tonight. Yeah, we owe everybody a big thank you for that. And I've got my tickets in, so I'm ready to win. Not that I will. Okay, it's my job to announce the winners, the awards of the year. Isn't that cool? Oh my goodness. This is the first time I've seen these. So I'm going to need some help, Cindy. Cindy, this is the Lion of the Year. Do we have an unsung? Is the unsung Lion in here as well? Is there a name?
No, they went outside. There he is.
Okay, can you come share? Well, see, the awards committee, our job is to get together and make a recommendation. We do a slate, we do a ballot. We give the ballot to the admin. They take it to their special meeting. We have to put in a pitch for each of the candidates. And so it's secret. We don't know. She handed me this box and I thought they were all in there. I have one special award. Does anybody, where's Darlene?
What?
Darlene.
Darlene, isn't it?
I think I can get the information.
I do not have the information. Oh, man. We gave all the ballots to Cindy. So who were they? Who were the nominees?
Well, you know what? This is a big snafu. But as Lions are, we're resilient. We'll find out on Tuesday. But since we got the big award, we're anxious to give out this award. Oh, maybe I won't take it out of the box. You can see through the plastic. See, I'm resilient too. Tom Fulton, Lion of the Year. Hey, Bob.
Thank you.
I gotta tell you, I got together all the names and I put in the orders and I was gone for 10 days. So I put everything, I thought I'll get everything done ahead of time. So I went to the printer and he was supposed to get the engraved on there. I went to the box this morning, it wasn't there. We have pins that we're supposed to hand out, they weren't here. So what do you do? And I do apologize for not having the names of the other two people, but like Gina said, we'll have them on Tuesday. Sorry.
One other thing to point out for Lion of the Year, Unsung Lion of the Year, Rookie Lion of the Year, we are a very large, very active club, even during the COVID pandemic. So anybody that's nominated is a huge. Doug just a little bit ago had a poem. So you have to have a response when somebody has a poem, right? And I just happen to carry a few things with me. So for those of you who happen to be baby boomers, which are those born between 1945 and 1965, this is titled Reflections of a Boomer. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. I've gone to Kansas City. I've sang in the sunshine. I've been on the road again with Georgia on my mind. Like a rolling stone, I've given peace a chance. I put my camel to bed and danced the last dance. Mr. Tambourine Man played a song for me. I've whispered words of wisdom, let it be. I fell into a burning ring of fire and walked the line. To all the girls I've loved before, you were always on my mind. I've been everywhere. I've been so lonesome I could cry. I've driven my Chevy to the levee when the levee was dry. I've been to Ichiku Park in a yellow submarine. I've made the scene in a time machine. I've done the hokey pokey and turned myself around. I've welcomed baby back to the poor side of town. I followed the tracks of my tears down a long and winding road. I've kept on searching for a heart of gold. I've sought shelter from the storm. I've sat on the dock of the bay. I've rocked around the clock on a sunshiny day. I've knocked on heaven's door, blowing in the wind. Joy to the world, those were the days, my friend. Lay, lady, lay, in crimson and clover. It's been a hard day's night. The party's over. With that, the closing words from a quote with Helen Keller, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. I think I've covered everything. Any other good in the order or anything else I've forgotten or needed to put in the last minute? Thank you. Thank you again for all the organizers. Thank you, Tom, Darlene, for your service. Looking forward to another great year of Lions.